One is handling stress and tricky questions while you are giving the interview, and the second one is maintaining your body language and the way you can communicate your answers in a better way to impress the recruiter. So these are some of the common causes of interview stress. Timing, like bad timing, we have unpredictable situations, performance pressure, self-doubt, social evaluation, lack of preparation, communication skills, rejection or failure, body language or presentation. Now, these are some of the very basic stress causing reasons because of which we feel that anxiety of speaking before a stranger, before a recruiter. And because of this, what happens is even if you know the answer, you are unable to express your answers properly. So, here are some tips. I'll talk about each point one by one of how you can handle this interview stress. The very first one is taking your interview as a conversation. Now, basically what I mean to say over here is don't try to give up mugged up answers. Don't try to show the recruiter that you have kind of learned it, you have just mugged it up and you're just vomiting it in front of the recruiter. So for that, what you can do is you all must be using ChatGPT, right? So what you can do for a smart work of how to use AI these days is you have your job description at hand for whatever job role you are applying. You have your own resume or CV. Now do one thing, go to GPT, upload both of these things, the job description as well as the resume. Then give prompts to GPT according to this to help me answer the questions in a better way. Give me some common HR questions, give me some technical questions, or you can also give 25 to 30 situational questions. Now, once when you get these, what you can do is, if you don't have the answers, no issue. Ask GPT, give me the answers as pointers. Now, don't try to take up the entire answer from GPT because if we kind of take the entire answer and tell, the recruiter will catch you that you are fully using ChatGPT or not. So, what you need to do, I'll suggest you take a pen and paper, write down or jot down all those pointers and then try to learn or remember those pointers. So, next time when you sit for the interview, don't try to give up that mugged up answer. Recall all those pointers in your head and then come up with your answer one by one in a well planned and smart manner. Next is being prepared. Again, for this I'll say what happens with many of us is when we are in a habit of sitting for interviews, we try to take things very lightly. We are like, chalo ab to aadat ho gayi hai, now we can just sit like this. No, that is a very wrong way. For each and every interview, you need to be as serious as you are in your very first interview. Plan it, prepare it accordingly because see, every company has different kind of objectives. They have different kind of skills, roles. So according to that, you have to change your answers also. Now, for that, as Apurva has mentioned, what you can do is you can visit the company's website, go into their vision, mission, goals, objective or annual report, whatever you can, try to look at those points. According to that, if you include those points in your answer, the company, the recruiter thinks that yes, you are genuinely interested in this role and they will feel impressed and it will increase your chances of getting selected or hired. Planning is, again, it comes in your answering part only. Plan your answers properly. For example, the very first basic question, tell me about yourself. It shouldn't be like first I'm starting from my undergraduation itself, then I'm jumping into my hobbies, later on I'm coming to my schooling. No, plan it out properly. Your answers, you need to plan it out properly. First, you're starting from your schooling, then you go to undergraduation, then whatever internships or projects you have done in your undergraduation, you can list down them. Then you go to your hobbies and all this. See, if you plan your answers very properly and you stress upon some points that you want to answer, trust me, you can just manipulate the entire interview towards your side. You can make the interview towards your side. You can make the recruiter ask what you want them to ask. Suppose if I'm saying I like reading books or I like watching movies in my free time. Now, if I stress upon those factors, the next thing that the interviewer or the recruiter is going to ask you, okay, what was the latest movie you have watched? Now, in this, whenever you're listing down any hobby, any skill, remember you need to be very thorough with that topic. Don't just say for the sake of saying, just like you're listing any hobby. Don't do that. Try to go into the background check. If I'm saying watching movies, I'll definitely take one particular good movie I'll look into the director, actors, screenplay, everything. What was the storyline like? And it shouldn't be any vague movie also. It will be something I got teachings and lessons from something, so that by looking at that movie today I can incorporate something of that sort in my life or in my job role further. Next is rehearsing. Okay, one of the very important tip in which you can just forget about your nervousness. You can come up with great answers. You can speak very properly, very confidently. I have been doing this as a part of my public speaking for debates, speeches, group discussions since from my childhood days. What you can do is, see, you scroll down LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever every day. So, or you read newspapers, articles. So, whatever thing that interests you, be it your politics or if you're more into fashion, food, whatever, just take one topic, try to remember whatever you have read or learned, and then go and sit in front of a mirror. Okay, in front of a mirror, you go and sit and try to just talk about that topic. In this way, you'll know that how many times are you like stopping in your speech. What happens is sometimes we know the answer, but when we go on to speak, we like stop. Okay, I've done my schooling from Jamshedpur, and then I don't know how to articulate the next thing of my undergraduation. So if you start practicing your way of speaking in front of the mirror, then you will tend to get the habit of speaking very nicely and coming up answers in a very flowed manner. Okay, so also if you sit in front of the mirror, one more pro tip will happen with you is that you'll be able to judge yourself. The way you're speaking, the way your hand gestures are going, what is your expression, your way of making eye contact, everything you'll be able to judge. And when you know that I'm going wrong in these things, next time you'll be improving on that part. If you're not comfortable in sitting in front of a mirror, try to sit with each other, with your friends only. In that way, you can, learn and grow with each other. You can just give each other that feedback that, okay, no, you are going wrong. You messed up with this answer. So in that way, again, you'll get the practice of speaking before anyone. Eliminating the unknown. This we'll come to in the next part. Arrive early and relax. Okay, now be it an online interview, be it an offline interview. Start making it a habit of being punctual and reaching at least 10 minutes prior to that interview. If you reach 10 minutes prior, what happens is you can sit, you can take back all your thoughts, you can start preparing whatever revision you can do in your mind. Also, that shows that you are, the facial expressions you'll be able to get back. And then that shows that you are kind of active, enthusiastic, well prepared. That puts a good impression before the recruiter. Take 3 to 4 deep breaths so that you can relax. If you have anxiety, that will, taking deep breaths, drinking water, this is going to help you lower your anxiety part. And once you start doing all these things, sitting interview one by one, start talking, this will definitely lower down your anxiety. You'll start building the confidence. In my entire life, I've seen people from zero public speaking skills, and then once they forget this thing that nobody is going to judge you, I will speak in any platform. Even if I go wrong, no issue. Still, if I keep thinking that there will be some person, like over here, when she asked any question, people were hesitating in getting up, volunteering for that answer. See, I'll tell you one basic thing. Here, you know each other. If you feel here that he or she might judge, then tomorrow, if you sit in front of a recruiter who is a complete stranger, those thoughts will come again, and then you will be again hesitating to answer. So stop this, try to be proactive, try to be confident, speak in whatever way, and once you start this, only then you are going to learn with that communicating skill and to become confident more with your answers. Okay, so these are the 3 more tips that you can say. Changing the mindset. Okay, now I hope when you sit for your very first interview, you get hired, but most of the time it does not happen that I get selected in my very first or second interview. No issues. It's a human trait that, okay, if I sit for the interview, I'll definitely always feel that, please, mujhe le lo. But it might not happen. So for that, you shouldn't feel that, okay, like it's the end of the world, or start just crying, being sad, not focusing on any other thing. No, that won't ever help. Every failure is a way to learn, right? So for that, how you can analyze and learn from the experience, that day, the day you get rejected, forget about it. It's okay. Just think it was a bad day. Sit with a pen and paper at night. Think about the interview entirely. Think, where did I go wrong? Where was that one moment when I think the recruiter went a little off, where I just made the recruiter feel that yaar isko nahi le sakte, I can't hire this person. So try to like recall all those things, write down those things, work on that, so that next time, one thing is for sure, that you are not going to repeat that same mistake. That is going to reduce your chances of failure. Improving for the next opportunity, if you keep doing this, practicing, you will definitely improve for the next opportunity. You will get better day by day. Okay, now coming to the next part, which is body language and communication. Now, when we prepare for an interview or when we sit for an interview, what we majorly focus is our technical skills, the way we answer, or what knowledge I know. We only focus on that. But let me tell you, even if there's one recruiter, even if there are 100 recruiters, there is one person in that panel is sitting who will only be judging not on your answers, but on your everything, like your entire body posture, the way you are articulating your thoughts, expressing yourself, the way you are greeting them, the way you are speaking, everything. And this all comes in your body language. So a little bit of green flags and red flags, which is do's and don'ts. Coming to the first one, do's, maintain eye contact, but don't stare. Maintaining eye contact shows confidence. Now, see, like I'm interacting with you guys, I'm trying to look at each and every one of you. What if I just stand like this and just try to read out the presentation? It won't look nice, right? You have to be a little interactive. So for that, learn the art of making eye contact with the recruiter. So when you sit in front of a laptop or computer during your online interview, try to look directly into the camera portion. Don't try to change tabs, try to cheat. See, the recruiter is smart enough to catch you if you try to cheat. Don't do that. Be yourself, be honest. Just look straight under the camera. If it's an offline interview, look directly into the recruiter's eyes. Like look at his face as if you're talking to your friend. Make it feel like that. Walk and sit with an upright posture. As the way you enter the interview hall or the way you sit down, try to maintain an upright and straight posture, like your shoulders should be straight like this. This again shows that you are active, prepared, enthusiastic, willing to get into the company. Because don't slouch, don't bend, don't show your laziness attitude. Use natural hand gestures to emphasize points and keep your hands visible. Again, if you're obviously you'll be sitting, so don't just hide your hands below the table, just speaking like this. No, try to make minimal hand gestures, because in this way, it shows that you're kind of explaining, you're kind of telling a story. You're telling, like, it shows a good, it leaves a good impression before the recruiter. But also, hand gestures shouldn't be too much. Okay, it should be minimal. Try to maintain normal hand gestures. Again, this you will be able to judge and you'll get better at it day by day if you start practicing before that mirror, like I said before. Not occasionally to show you are actively listening. When the recruiter is asking you a question, try to nod your head. Show that yes, you are actively listening. All right. Also with this, I want to come up with another point. When your interview comes to an end, the HR is most of the times going to ask you, okay, we are done with it. Do you have any questions for us? Never say no in that. Okay. Always say yes, I have a question. For that, what you can do, either you can ask this question that, okay, if I get hired in this role or if I get into this company, I get selected, what are the other roles and responsibility apart from the mentioned ones that you guys are expecting from me? Or for that, again, you visit the website, look at the current activities that they have been doing, CSR activities or whatever. Try to point out those activities. And then you can talk about it, that what further things are you doing in that activity. So that shows, even if whatever answer they give next, nod at them. Yes, I'm listening to it. Even if you are zoned out, even if you are not listening to them, just make them feel that yes, I am very attentive and I'm listening to you. Smile naturally to appear approachable and positive. Yes, this is a very big factor. One of the big, I'll say, red flag would be if you don't smile at that person, looking at that person. We tend to forget about it. Many a times what happens is when the interview is going, it becomes a stress interview. The interviewer is grilling you. He or she is catching your weak points, the points where you are unable to answer like that. No issues. Don't make him or her feel that you are going down, you're losing at that point. No, that's their trick. For that, do nothing. For your entire interview, even if you know I'm losing it, I'm not able to see anything, no issues, just keep smiling. That shows that your confident attitude, your positive attitude. All right. Also, if you don't know any answer, just smile at them. Tell them, sorry sir, sorry ma'am, I don't know about it, but I'll definitely look into it. I'll definitely research about the topic once the interview gets done. If you are in an online interview, I used to forget to smile. So what I used to do in all my MBA interviews, I just took a sticky, wrote their smile, and then stuck it at my laptop screen. At that point, even if one time I'm forgetting to smile at any of my answers, as soon as the moment comes when I look at that smile sticky, I start smiling at them. So that will help. It shouldn't be like you're giggling in front of them. No, like you do with your friends. Just a normal, elegant smile like this. Avoid awkward handshake. Okay, so we forget sometimes in interview stress when we walk in that the recruiter might give me a handshake like this. Now be prepared for that. This can happen two times. Either in the very first part of your interview as soon as you enter, or when your interview is about to end. Okay, it was great meeting you. It was great interacting with you, like that. Now don't give a loose handshake. Again, it will be a very big off part. So try to give a good tight grip handshake. All right. Don't avoid crossing your arms, which may seem defensive. While speaking, when you're sitting, don't sit like this. Don't cross your arms. For this, again, try to show your minimum hand gestures. All right. Don't slouch. That means don't bend or do anything. Just sit upright and straight. Show your confidence, your your activeness. Avoid fidgeting, playing with your hair, adjusting your clothes, doing this. A lot of us have this habit. No, even I have this habit, but before that interview, during that interview, please don't do that. Shake your legs, shake your hands. These are signs of anxiety, but at that time, you need to control it day by day, and you'll get better at it. If you keep this always in mind, I don't need to do this, then you'll stop doing it. Do not watch the clock. If you are wearing a clock while the interview is going, even if there's some part when he or she is not asking you a question, don't try to look at your watch key. For how much time have I been in this room? Or if there's any clock or watch on the room hanging on the wall, don't try to look at it. Again, this does not look good before the recruiter. Avoid excessive hand movements. It might seem distracting. Again, use hand gestures, but it shouldn't be like most of your body part. It should be very less. Don't invade the interviewer's personal space. Keep a comfortable distance. Now, when you enter the room, sometimes what happens is, instead of a normal like this setup, there's a circle type of setup. Okay. So the recruiters will be sitting like this. So whenever they come, please come and sit. Don't try to sit just next to them. They won't say anything, obviously, but never sit like that. Always try to sit a little like 3 to 4 chairs apart to them. That gives them their private space. Also, when you enter, don't sit as soon as you enter. Until and unless the recruiter says, yes, you may sit, please sit, don't stand. Only then take the chair and sit. This we forget. But the recruiter is judging each and everything of yours. Once your interview is done, get up, keep the chair inside, like push it back. Okay. These are very basic things, but it helps to showcase a lot of things. Because see, when you walk in, sometimes the interview recruiter, after taking a lot of interviews, they might not feel that much interested, which is not your fault. But sometimes, it happens. So if you maintain these things, this gives a proper first impression. And obviously, first impression is definitely the last impression. For me, I always believe this. So try to maintain all these things. Also, one thing I haven't added over here, but I'd like to say about your grooming part. Whenever you are going for an interview, even if you're sitting online, try to sit with a shirt, like a collared shirt, proper formal shirt. Even if you're going in, if you don't even have a blazer, no issue. For men, I'll say you can wear formal shirt, pant, a tie, like properly polished black or brown shoes, whatever goes with your belt. And for women also, if nothing like this, no issues. You can have an elegant salwar suit also would work. If you're keeping your hair open for girls, you should tie it properly, brush it nicely. You should look well groomed. For men, always go clean shaved. Your hair should be cut. It shouldn't be long and all these things. Because see, again, this in our college, for each and every lecture talk, if they give us very less time. They say like within an hour report here, within half an hour. Once we were called at night 1 o'clock and we were like having a dinner something, and then we were called within 15 minutes we had to like report there. So we had to rush back to our hostels, come back to that office, and in all this they won't see the time. You have to go, you have to get groomed. So for men this happens, like the boys in our college, they feel it difficult. They have to always shave. But if they don't shave, again, they get defaults for that. So definitely remember, boys should always be clean shaved. These put a good impression in front of the recruiter. Alright guys, that's all from my part. If you have any doubts from managing stress or maintaining body language for communication, you can just let me know.